All right, sixth graders, welcome back. This is 8.4, example 3, and now we're getting to the tough stuff. They're telling us the volume. We have to find the height. They're not telling us the height this time. So we have to write and solve an equation to find the height of the computer tower. So we know that volume is already told for us. So it's going to be, it's still volume equals length times width times height. That's our formula. So now, instead of knowing the height, we know the volume and the length and the width. So we plug in our numbers here. Substitute all the values. We have 1792, 16 for the length, 7 for the width, and the height is going to be an h. Okay. Now our PEMDAS tells us we can multiply here. So 16 times 7 is 112. And now if we remember from earlier in the year, in order to solve this for h, we do the inverse operation. So this is multiplication, and the inverse of that is division. So divide both sides by 112, and you end up with 16 equals the height. So 112 divided by 112 gives you 1, right? So you are left with h all alone, and then 16 for the height. So I know that's kind of something that we did earlier in the year, but we'll have to kind of refresh our memory on that one. So we're just going to plug them in first and then solve the equation. Take a look at another one. It says an MP3 player has a depth of 0.6 centimeters, a width of 4, and a volume of 21.6. So sometimes it helps me to draw a picture. It tells us the volume and we're missing something.
The MP3 player
so we
has
need
a
to find
volume
the height.
of 21 and
So let's take a
6/10
look at
cubic
their
centimeters.
tutorial.
Write and solve an equation to find the height of the MP3 player. Notice in this problem that we're given the volume of the MP3 player, which is a rectangular prism. We're also given two of the dimensions, 4 centimeters and 6/10 centimeters. We're asked to write and solve an equation to find the height. So how can we do this? Think about it. Well, we know the formula for the volume of a rectangular prism. Let's use that. The volume is equal to the length times the width times the height. Now let's decide which values we can substitute. We know the volume, that's 21 and 6/10. How about the length? Let's use 4 for the length. And that leaves 6/10 for the width. And the height is unknown. That's what we're trying to find. Now there's a product we can find. 4 times 6/10 is 2 4/10. On the right side, we have 2 4/10 times h. We want to get h by itself, so let's divide both sides by 2 4/10. If you divide 21 and 6/10 by 2 4/10, you find that the answer is 9. And then when you divide 2 4/10 by 2 4/10, you get 1. That's the whole reason we're dividing by 2 4/10. So we can say that it's 1h, or simply h. Now we know our answer to the problem. The height is 9 centimeters. To review what we did in the problem,
That's exactly what we did before. Just remember that this is 2.4h means multiplication, so you're going to divide to undo it. You do the inverse operation. All right. That is it for example 3. Good job and keep up the good work.